Trump's face tightens the moment Samuel L. Jackson says, "You really want me to tell them?" He says it live, straight to camera, eyes locked, tone sharp enough to slice through the studio noise. Trump freezes mid-sentence. The hosts turn toward Jackson, unsure if he's joking or setting the room on fire. Jackson doesn't blink. He lifts a card from the table, holding it between two fingers like it's nothing. But Trump reacts as if it's a weapon aimed at his chest. "Don't!" Trump snaps. "You don't know anything." Jackson tilts his head. "I know enough." The audience murmurs. The host leans forward, sensing something big. Even the crew stops moving behind the cameras. Trump tries to smile, but the tension in his jaw ruins it. Jackson taps the card lightly against the table. "You want to keep talking? Or you want me to read this?" Trump shakes his head fast, too fast. "This is not that kind of show." Jackson laughs. A low, sharp sound. "Tonight it is." He lifts the card higher, eyes still on Trump. "These are your words. Your messages. Your own people handed them over." Trump's hand slaps the table. "Lies. Fake. You're doing some Hollywood thing." Jackson doesn't break. This ain't a script. He turns to the audience. He knows what's in here. Trump's shoulders tense so hard his suit strains. Jackson leans in. "You ready?" Trump tries to answer, but no sound comes out. And that's the moment the whole country realizes something explosive is coming. The host tries to intervene. "Samuel, maybe we should clear." "No," Jackson says. "We're already here." His eyes cut back to Trump. "You've been running your mouth all week. Now let's see how loud you are when someone brings the receipts." Trump leans back like he's been hit. His hands grip the edges of his chair. He glances toward the control room as if begging for someone to cut the feed, but the producer's voice echoes from the booth. "Do not switch cameras. Stay wide. Stay on both." Trump's throat moves in one hard swallow. He tries to regain control. "Nobody believes anything you say. You're just doing this for attention." Jackson smirks. "If I wanted attention, I'd do a monologue. This is something else." He flicks the top of the card. "This is what you tried to hide." Trump shakes his head again, but the movement looks desperate, not confident. He mutters something under his breath, something only the closest host hears, and she stiffens in her seat. Jackson turns back to the audience. He's scared. Look at him. Trump slams the desk. "I'm not scared." Jackson shrugs. "Then let me read it." Trump goes completely still. His eyes open wider. His breathing changes. Short, sharp, uneven. He lifts a hand like he wants to signal for a pause. That's when Jackson begins. Jackson holds the card up and reads the first line clearly. "This is from a message you sent at 2:14 a.m. He pauses. Trump's face tightens more. "You said, and I quote, 'Delete everything. They can't ever find out.'" The audience reacts at once, gasps, whispers, chairs shifting. Trump jumps in. "That's fake. I never wrote that." Jackson turns the card around as if showing it to the world. "It's right here. Your own number. Your style. Your panic." Trump tries to stand, but the host gently motions him down. "Please, Mr. President, don't call me that right now," Trump snaps. "This is nonsense. He's lying. He's pulling some prank." Jackson keeps reading. "You sent it to 3 people. 2 replied. 1 didn't." He lowers the card again. "Want to explain who the 3rd one is?" Trump's hands curl into fists so tight the knuckles turn white. "You're reading garbage." Jackson nods slowly. "Okay, then you won't mind if I read the 2nd one." Trump's body visibly tenses. Jackson flips the card. "This one is from earlier that night. You wrote, 'If this gets out, I'll be finished.'" The studio turns silent. Even the air seems to freeze. Trump's voice breaks slightly. "That doesn't mean anything. People say things." Jackson leans forward. "People say lots of things. But you weren't talking about paperwork. You weren't talking about rumors. You were talking about what you did." Trump's eyes widen. He points a trembling finger. "You don't know anything about what I did." Jackson lifts a brow. "Then you won't mind if I keep reading." Trump looks around as if searching for an exit the cameras won't catch. But there isn't one. The audience stays silent, too stunned to breathe loudly. Jackson folds the card once, sets it on the table, and pulls out a 2nd one. Trump's chest rises and falls faster now. His hand twitches as if he's deciding whether to snatch the card away. Jackson places a hand on it. "Touch it, and they'll zoom in so hard the whole world will see your fingerprints shaking." Trump freezes mid-reach. Jackson smirks. "Thought so." The hosts exchange worried glances. One whispers, "Security," but the control booth shakes their heads. "No. Keep rolling." Trump wipes his forehead and whispers something to himself, something like, Not tonight. Not this. Jackson reads from the new card. This is the one your people begged us not to mention. So of course I'm mentioning it. Trump slams both hands on the desk. You have no right. Jackson fires back. You brought me on. You gave me a mic. I'm using it. The tension snaps tight. The studio feels smaller, like the walls are moving inward. Trump pushes back from the chair and stands. I'm not doing this. But he doesn't move. He stays standing, frozen, trembling with anger he can't contain. Jackson says, "Sit down." And shockingly, Trump sits, not because Jackson has authority, but because Trump's brain is too overwhelmed to decide anything on his own. The audience notices. The hosts notice. Jackson definitely notices. He leans back, voice steady. Good. Now let's continue. Trump swallows hard. His voice cracks when he tries to speak. You're exaggerating everything. Jackson shakes his head. No, I'm just getting started. Jackson flips the card dramatically and reads, "You told someone to get rid of the folder." Trump shakes his head fast. That's not what I meant. Jackson says, "You didn't even let me finish reading." Trump clamps his mouth shut. Jackson continues, "Get rid of the folder by morning. Burn it if you have to." The studio gasps again. Someone in the back whispers, "Burn it?" Trump stands and points at the screen behind Jackson. "You're twisting everything. That was about old drafts. Old ideas. You told someone to burn it." Jackson interrupts. "There's no innocent version of that." Trump's voice rises. "You don't know what was in it." Jackson lets out a slow breath. "You just told the world there was a folder." Trump's face collapses. He realizes his mistake. His lips tighten, and he sits back down so hard the chair squeaks beneath him. Jackson folds the card again and sets it down. "That's two." Trump stares at the table. "This is a setup. This is a sick setup." Jackson nods. "Then explain it." Trump doesn't, because he can't. Jackson pulls a third card slowly from his jacket, and Trump's entire body goes rigid. The host closest to him leans back slightly, sensing an explosion coming. Jackson lifts the card. "This one? This is the reason you stormed out of that rehearsal earlier." Trump's jaw drops. "How did you—" "You left your mic on," Jackson says. "We heard everything." Trump's eyes shake. "That's illegal." Jackson shrugs. "You signed the consent form. You don't read anything your team hands you, do you?" Trump slams the desk again. The audience flinches. Jackson reads the next line. "If he brings up the thing from the hotel, we're done." The crowd makes a collective sound, shock, confusion, curiosity blending into one long gasp. Trump shouts, "It wasn't a hotel. And I never said that." Jackson lifts the card high. "There's a timestamp. There's audio." Trump's face falls completely blank. The kind of blank where panic hides behind shock. Jackson leans forward. "Want to explain the hotel?" Trump shakes his head violently. "No, because there is no hotel." Jackson smiles softly. The worst possible reaction for Trump. "Then why were you so afraid of it being mentioned?" Trump presses both palms to his forehead, elbows on the table, breathing hard. The hosts whisper urgently to producers. Trump lifts his head again, his face red, his hair pushed back from the sweat. "You're ruining my life," he whispers. Jackson responds, "You ruined your own life with those messages." Trump's face twitches again, fear and rage fighting inside him, and the audience keeps watching. Trump stands so fast the chair falls back again. It clatters loudly across the stage. He points at Jackson with a shaking hand. "You think you're a hero? You're just some actor who thinks yelling makes him right." Jackson doesn't stand. He doesn't flinch. "I don't need to yell. The truth is loud enough." Trump steps backward, nearly tripping over the fallen chair. He grabs the edge of the desk to steady himself. His breath comes in uneven bursts. He looks as if he might pass out or explode. "You don't understand how this works," Trump yells. "You can't just walk in here and accuse me of—" "You accused yourself," Jackson interrupts. Trump freezes. Jackson lifts the final card of part 1. "This last one is the key. The one you hoped nobody ever saw." Trump shakes his head so hard, his cheeks move. "If you read that, I swear." "You'll what?" Jackson asks calmly. "Walk off the stage? Yell louder? Threaten me?" Trump opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. Jackson looks at the card. Trump panics. "Stop!" he screams. But Jackson begins reading anyway. Jackson reads the line calmly. "You wrote, 'If this ever goes public, deny everything and blame the staff.'" The studio explodes in gasps. Even the crew members step closer to their monitors. Trump's entire face drains of color. He grips the desk with both hands, knuckles white, jaw locked so tight the muscles near his ear twitch. Jackson taps the card. This is you admitting you'd blame people who work for you, people who trusted you, people who covered for you. Trump's mouth opens but nothing comes out. Jackson pushes the card closer. Want to deny this too? Trump slams the desk harder than before. You don't know what I was talking about. You don't understand context. That's private. Those messages were stolen. You told someone to burn a folder, Jackson says. Context ain't saving you tonight. Trump shakes his head violently. This is fake. This is edited. You're an actor. You can make anything sound dramatic. Jackson leans in, voice steady. I'm not acting. This is real. And you know it. Trump steps back like the air hit him. His breathing gets heavier, shoulders rising and falling like he's trying to keep the world from collapsing on him. The host closest to him whispers, "Please take a seat," but Trump ignores her completely. "This is political," Trump hisses. "This is all political. You're trying to embarrass me. You're trying to ruin my reputation. You're doing someone's dirty work." Jackson folds the card in half and sets it down gently. "You wrote the words. I just read them." Trump looks at the card like it's radioactive. He looks at Jackson like he wants to shout again but can't find a sentence strong enough. Then he says it. "The first honest thing all night. I didn't think anyone would ever see those." The room goes dead silent. Jackson stares at him, eyes soft for the first time. Secrets always find a way out. Trump collapses into the chair. Defeated, shaking, unable to look at anyone. But the show isn't over. Not yet. Trump tries to collect himself, but Jackson pulls out a fourth card. One that wasn't on the table before, one that Trump didn't know existed. Trump's head shoots up instantly. His eyes widen with terror. He knows exactly which one it is. Jackson holds it lightly between two fingers. "This one wasn't given to us. This one was leaked live during the show." Trump's body jerks. No, that's impossible. That's impossible." Jackson nods calmly. "Somebody sent it to the producers 20 minutes ago." Trump looks at the control room window, a small rectangle of glass above the studio lights. He points at it wildly. "Show me who sent it. Tell me who sent it." A producer's voice responds through the overhead speaker. "Anonymous source." Trump's knees shake. His voice cracks. "This is a trap. I knew it. I knew you people were planning something." Jackson raises the fourth card. "You wrote this earlier this week." Trump's entire body shakes now, visible even through his suit. "Don't read it," he whispers. Jackson looks at the audience, then back at Trump. "They deserve to know." "No." Jackson reads, "Make sure nobody knows about the meeting at the house. If anyone asks, say it never happened." The studio reacts immediately, louder than before. Shock, confusion, fear, curiosity. It all crashes at once. Trump stands so fast the chair flips again. He points at Jackson with both hands like he's trying to push him away without touching him. "That wasn't about me," Trump screams. "That wasn't about anything illegal. You're twisting everything. That was about—" "What house?" Jackson asks. Trump stops talking. He stares at Jackson. He stares at the cameras. He stares at the audience. Then he whispers, barely audible, "I'm not explaining that." Jackson leans in. "Then everybody watching will assume the worst." Trump covers his face with both hands, pacing in a tight loop like a man trying to outrun his own shadow. He shakes his head, muttering to himself. The hosts watch, frozen, unsure whether to intervene or stay silent. Jackson sits back, voice low but firm. "You lied, you hid things, you tried to destroy evidence, and now you're standing here with cameras rolling and the truth hitting you in the face." Trump stops pacing. He turns toward Jackson. He looks broken. "This isn't fair," Trump whispers. "This isn't how it was supposed to go tonight." Jackson raises an eyebrow. "What were you expecting? A friendly interview?" Trump's voice comes out weak, fragile. I thought it would be easy." Jackson shakes his head slowly. "Secrets never make life easy." Trump sits again, slowly, like the weight of the world forces him down. His hands tremble on the desk. He opens his mouth several times, but the words collapse before they form. The hosts exchange worried looks. This is beyond politics now. This is a human being drowning on live television. Jackson clears his throat. "We're not done." Trump recoils. Please don't." Jackson holds up his hands. "I'm not reading another secret." He pauses. "Not yet." Trump looks at him suspiciously, breath still shaky. Jackson continues. "I want to know why you had so many messages about hiding things, burning things, denying things." Trump stares at the desk. Jackson presses, "What are you so afraid of?" Trump's jaw tightens. He doesn't answer. Jackson leans forward. If none of this was a big deal, why did you react like your world was ending? Trump blinks rapidly. His eyes shine like he's holding back tears or rage or both. He swallows hard. He tries to speak but nothing comes out. Jackson softens his voice. You were running from something long before tonight. Trump finally speaks, barely. I thought everything would go away if I didn't talk about it. Jackson nods. That's not how life works. Trump clenches his jaw again, staring at the floor. The audience watches him crumble. Jackson pulls out one more card. A fifth one, but keeps it face down on the table. Trump sees it and nearly jumps out of his skin. No, Trump says. Not another. You got what you wanted. Enough. Jackson taps the card gently. This isn't yours. Trump blinks, confused. This one, Jackson says, is from someone. Not from you. Trump stares. Jackson continues. Someone who knows exactly what you've been hiding. Trump stumbles back a step. What? What do you mean from someone? Jackson picks up the card and reads the sender's message out loud. Tell him I'm done covering for him. Read everything. Trump's breathing stops. The studio goes silent. Jackson reads the signature. It's from someone you trusted. Trump's face collapses into shock. Who? Joe wrote that. Jackson turns the card around and sets it in front of him. Trump stares at it the way someone stares at a ghost. The name on the card hits him so hard he stumbles backward and grabs the table to keep from falling. His voice breaks when he speaks. No, not them, not them. Jackson nods. They gave us everything. Trump shakes violently, unable to contain it. Why would they do that? Why? Jackson answers quietly. Because you put them in a position where they had to choose between you and their own future. Trump sits, shaking, eyes fixed on the card. His meltdown is complete. But Jackson isn't finished. Trump tries to regain control but every attempt collapses into panic. His hands shake so badly that the microphone rattles when he touches it. You set me up, he whispers. You and the producers, you all set me up. Jackson shakes his head. You set yourself up the moment you wrote those messages. Trump's breathing grows louder. No, no, this isn't happening. I didn't come here for this. Jackson puts both hands on the table. Then why did you come? Trump looks around the studio, at the lights, the cameras, the audience, and something inside him breaks completely. I thought I could fix things, he whispers. I thought if I showed up, smiled, talked big, everything would go away. Jackson leans in. You can't outrun truth. Trump slaps the desk again. Stop saying that. The host nearest him flinches. Security steps closer off camera, ready in case he loses control physically. Trump points at Jackson with a trembling finger. You don't know anything. You don't know me. You're just trying to humiliate me because it makes you feel important. Jackson stands slowly for the first time tonight. The room stiffens instantly. Jackson doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't shout. He doesn't even look angry. He simply says, I didn't humiliate you. You walked in here with secrets leaking out of your pockets. Trump stops breathing for a moment. Jackson moves closer. You exploded, Jackson says. All I did was light the match you were already holding. Trump's face contorts. Anger, humiliation, fear, all battling at once. He whispers, turn off the cameras. No one moves. Trump screams, turn off the cameras. Still no one moves. And that's when Trump realizes he has lost every ounce of control. Trump's hands rise to his hair as he pulls at it in frustration, pacing in circles, muttering, panicking. He shakes his head repeatedly, as though trying to wake up from a nightmare. Jackson sits back down calmly. You're unraveling, he says, and you're doing it to yourself. Trump points at him, shouting through clenched teeth, you don't get to talk to me like that. Jackson shrugs. Then stop giving me reason to. Trump covers his face again, then slams both hands down on the desk. His voice comes out high, strained, desperate. I didn't do anything wrong. Jackson leans in. Then why are you acting like you did? Trump collapses into the chair again. His breathing is fast, erratic, his eyes flicker everywhere. The cameras, the audience, the floor, as if searching for something to anchor him, but nothing is there. He whispers, everyone's going to hate me. Jackson shakes his head. No, people don't hate mistakes. He pauses. They hate lies. Trump closes his eyes tight, and a single tear slips out, unseen by most, but caught by the cameras. He wipes it fast, furious. Don't show that. Don't you dare show that. But the meltdown is live, unedited, unstoppable. Jackson looks at him one last time. You can't hide from what you created. Trump's voice cracks. I just wanted everything to be okay. Jackson stands again. Then you should have been honest. Trump's chest heaves, he looks around, and finally, he breaks. I messed up, he whispers. I messed up so bad. Jackson nods. Now the world knows. Trump drops his head, and the screen fades to black as the broadcast cuts out. Not to protect him, but because the show is over. The screen goes black for the broadcast, but inside the studio nothing ends. The lights are still hot, the cameras still point toward the stage, the crew still stands frozen behind their equipment, and Trump is still sitting in the chair, head down, shoulders shaking, breathing in uneven, painful bursts. The hosts stay silent, afraid to say the wrong thing. Jackson doesn't return to his seat. He stands off to the side now, arms folded, watching Trump with a look that isn't anger anymore. It's something closer to concern, though he tries to hide it. Trump wipes his face again, but the tears smear instead of disappearing. Why did they do this? He whispers. Why did they send that message? Why would they betray me like that? Jackson steps closer but doesn't sit. People don't betray you for no reason. They reach a breaking point. Trump shakes his head violently. No, you don't understand. They were supposed to protect me. They promised. Jackson answers softly. Nobody can protect you from the truth. Trump presses both hands to his forehead like he's trying to hold himself together physically. You think I wanted any of this? He asks. You think I wanted secrets? You think I wanted things to hide? Jackson doesn't respond. Trump lifts his head, eyes red, voice cracking. I just didn't want the world to hate me. Jackson sighs. The world didn't hate you, it questioned you. There's a difference. Trump stares at him, confused. What does that mean? It means, Jackson says, you still had a chance. Right up until tonight. Trump's expression shatters again. Tonight ruined everything. Jackson shakes his head. No. Your fear did. Your reaction did. Your lies did. Trump's jaw trembles. I didn't think anyone would ever see those messages. Jackson steps closer. That's the problem. You write things you're terrified of people knowing. And then you pretend they don't exist. Trump laughs. A broken, hollow sound. You make it sound so easy. Jackson shrugs. It's not easy. It's honest. Trump stands slowly. His legs shake, but he forces himself upright. What happens now? Jackson looks him in the eye. That isn't up to me. Trump glances around. The fallen chair, the scattered cards, the microphone still glowing red, the stunned crew unable to move. He looks like a man surrounded by the wreckage of his own decisions, unsure which direction leads out. What am I supposed to do? Trump asks weakly. Jackson thinks for a long moment before speaking. Start by telling the truth. Not to me. Not to the cameras. To the people you hurt. Trump blinks. And then what? Jackson nods toward the control booth. Then deal with the consequences. Trump steps back like the word consequences physically hit him in the chest. He rubs his temples, pacing again, slower this time, not frantic, just lost. I'm finished, he whispers. This is it. They'll destroy me. Jackson shakes his head. You destroyed yourself tonight. But destruction isn't the end unless you make it the end. Trump stares at him, not understanding. What does that mean? It means you can either keep lying, Jackson says, or you can start over. Trump laughs again, tired, broken, empty. Start over, after what happened tonight. Jackson places the final card on the desk gently, like placing a stone onto a grave. You'd be surprised what people forgive, he said. If you stop lying to them. Trump looks at the card, at Jackson, at the empty studio, at the cameras still rolling internally even though the feed is cut. For the first time all night he looks small. Not because of secrets, not because of exposure, but because he finally realizes the truth. Everything he feared, he created himself. And the world didn't explode. He did.